Well, hello, and thanks for having a look at our new Interpreter's Guide to Evaluating Exhibits course. Now, everybody has exhibits. The problem is a lot of the exhibits you have probably might not work. And by work, I mean actually accomplish the objectives that the exhibit was supposed to accomplish. A lot of exhibits are planned and don't even have objectives. They happen because somebody had a stuffed raccoon in the back room, wanted to do an exhibit on raccoons. Or some museum curator had a bunch of pottery that they really liked and thought people would just love seeing 1,000 of them in a glass case. But what we try to find out today in today's marketplace is for the money you're spending, what are you getting in return for your exhibits? So if your exhibits cost $10,000, how do you know you're getting $10,000 worth of benefits from those exhibits? It's called the product of the product. You know, are you selling drills or holes? So the exhibits are a product, but the exhibits should be designed to create a product as well. The product might be people having an enhanced understanding of climate change, or people valuing historic architecture in a new way, or people wanting to become a member of your organization. So in other words, for the money you spend on exhibits, you should get something back. And so in this course, we're going to look at two different ways of doing some evaluation. One is evaluating existing exhibits. We call it exhibit rehab. And you can actually do that during this course. We have an assessment form that you can use. And you can go to the exhibits you have in your gallery or your visitor center and do a quick critique. Another form is pre- and post-test evaluation. We did an extensive survey on exhibits for the Kirby Science Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's a $3 million project. And the director was actually concerned that the exhibits actually work, both technically and as a learning tool. And what we found out was that about 20% of the exhibits did work as a learning tool. About another 40% sort of worked. And then we had about 20% that didn't work at all, really. In fact, we had some exhibits that created a concept called negative learning. In a pre-test, for example, on an exhibit on magnetism, 92% of the children we tested knew that iron was magnetic. Then they went to use an exhibit on magnetism, and the problem was that the directions said use a magnet from beneath and these little muffin tins where we had all these different objects in muffin tins. And the children didn't want to use the magnet from underneath, they wanted to use the magnet from the top. When they used the magnet from the top, the iron wouldn't move because the magnet was too far away from the iron. So on the post-test, we're now at 68% think that iron is magnetic. Geez, you did the exhibit, and here's the iron, and it's not moving. So iron is not magnetic. So that exhibit created negative learning. We would have never known that if we hadn't done the evaluation. So we're going to give you some techniques to do different kinds of evaluations on your exhibits. And of course, the big question is, for the money you spent, are you really getting anything back in return? Or are the exhibits essentially a very large, very expensive decoration that people can look at and kind of nod their heads and point at? But other than that, for all the money spent, not a lot is happening. You probably would have been better off, rather than spending money on exhibits, is spending money on a staff member, like a live interpreter. You get a better return on your investment. So this course is on techniques for critiquing exhibits, hopefully to make your exhibits better, and hopefully to make your exhibits more successful, and have your exhibits have a better cost per contact and be more cost effective. So that's what the course is about. All kinds of tools and techniques for you to go and cause trouble with, because you're going to be able to point out problems with exhibits, and then you're stuck with, okay, now what do we do? But that's a different course. That might be a course in psychology. So if you have any questions about the course, send me an email, and I think you'll have a lot of fun taking it, because there's nothing like critiquing exhibits and having some surprises as part of the process. Well, I hope you take the course, and I hope I'll see you down the road with our Interpreter's Guide to Evaluating Exhibits.